When Jerry and I volunteered to use our knowledge of the North Shore and what we had learned as Boy Scouts and transfer that to search and rescue, we didn't realize the search and rescue was in a developmental role. That increased our volunteer time tremendously. What needed to be developed? Well, there are many things. Let me just mention a couple of them. One is the sound that is needed to attract a lost person. And what sound does the lost person need to give back to the searcher? So, is it just yelling, "Laura, search and rescue here," and then you turn, do the same thing, listen, 360 degrees. There's got to be another way of doing this because you become hoarse. A man by the name of Martin Caldwell stepped up to the challenge and said, we're going to do a sound sweep. Got some students from the engineering department of UBC and a lot of volunteers went up to Hollyburn, and they had placed in the woods a number of devices that actually were emitting sounds that we were to listen to and report on what did we hear. And there were things that we were required to do in terms of giving sound. After 3 days, we think we had exhausted all of the sound opportunities that were available. The engineering students took the data, went back to their studies, and then came back to us and said that all sounds, I'm just reading from it, all sounds such as loud hailers, air horns, yelling, whistling, bear bangers, bear bells, all had value. However, the sound from the whistle gave best results. Plus, it's most likely an item that everybody will carry with them. The research also confirmed that voice has a limited availability. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fox 40. That sharp, crystal clear sound is the whistle that has been adopted by the Adventure Smart program. And if I had enough of them, I would hand them out tonight, but I will do something about getting them to people if we have the names. So, enjoying the outdoors safely, Jerry spoke about that. Every day, a lot of people do that. And unfortunately, every day, a lot of people do not do that. That was a concern of ours because it increased our call volume. So we have to ask the question, does the public need education on how to enjoy the outdoors safely? The resounding answer was absolutely yes. So in 1970, because of the continual increase in call-outs, the Search and Rescue Advisory Committee and the Provincial Emergency Program created the Adventure Smart program that was aimed in giving to everyone knowledge, skills, ability to enjoy the outdoors safely. That program is now the best program in Canada, and it's also used internationally under license. The other program that is very important to small children, Lisa happened to mention it, and I'm going to use it in a different context. Hug a Tree and Survive. Two North Shore rescue people, Ken Hopkinson and Ross Peterson, found a program in California, brought it into Canada, into North Shore, adapted it, and delivered it to 7,000 children. And that program was to teach children to befriend a tree, hug a tree, Make that tree your place to stay. Do not be running around and wait for search and rescue. There is another program that was made available through the owner of Cypress Mountain, and he allowed one of his employees, young employee if I may add, to deliver the Snow Smart program. And that again is to teach children to stay within the boundaries. He was so successful, they had more sessions with the North and West Vancouver School District that they could handle. Public education continues to be one of our major focuses. Now, has search and rescue changed in the last little while? You bet. It has gone from search and rescue to rescue. What am I referring to? Today, with the personal locator beacons, which are devices that you can buy and are registered, where you actually press a button, sends a signal to the satellite, goes to Trenton, and then is distributed to whatever area in Canada where there should be a response. And cell telephones. Now, a lost and injured person can call 911 or send a signal. The search and rescue manager then can almost get an exact location. So in the past, where we had to go search, then rescue, because the location is known, we now have a search. Add to that air support. What am I talking about? I'm talking about using a helicopter that has a rescuer attached to the helicopter on a cable underneath the helicopter. Knowing the location, the rescuer and helicopter go to that location, they do their assessment of the subject, the packaging if necessary, clip them onto the harness, and underneath the helicopter, they then go and drop off at the next safest location. That has saved us from having to conduct a search. Think about it, and maybe you don't know this, but every search that we had took at least 10 to 12 hours, if not days. So now with rescue, it's over within a couple of hours, maybe 4 at the most. What other changes are coming? In Vancouver right now, in a hangar, Talon Helicopters has a new helicopter that is IFR rated, meaning it can fly at night. They also have just been approved to wear night vision goggles, pilot and spotters. They now can search at night. They can also rescue at night. The hoist is on the exterior. The rescuer is on the inside. He clips in, the hoist swings out. He's lowered down, does exactly the same thing as the other evolution is about in rescuing people. There's another change coming, and Jerry and I were looking at this a while ago, and that is the use of drones. In the United States, with an operator, they have been able to test a drone that will lock in on a signal. It will actually go to that spot with a rescue kit. The camera's included in the drone. It's taking a picture of everything it's seeing on the way in, looking at the condition of the subjects, dropping off the rescue kit, transferring that information back to the search and rescue base. That's the next thing we're going to see. Reducing time for saving lives is something that we always keep up here. How do we do that? So you're going to see a number of other changes. Funding for SAR. Laura asked me to mention this. The other day you saw the provincial government had mentioned that they have allotted $18 million for Dave and Jerry. No, sorry, $18 million for search and rescue in the province. There's 83 SAR groups. So it's going to be divided amongst them on a needs analysis basis. I'd like to say that we're very grateful. I will say we're very grateful. But any donation from the public, the search and rescue groups still appreciate. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for allowing Jerry and I to give you a snippet of our life from two yappers and to share with you some of the things that we like to do. I want to take an opportunity here and recognize Carl Winter. And I'd like Carl to stand up. He is the third person to be a founding member of North Shore Rescue. Carl, well done. Thank you very much.
Could you please comment on the issue that comes up regularly in the media that people who are rescued should be paying something?
I have never met in my 50 years, and Jerry will probably agree, anybody who gets up in the morning and said, I'm going out and I'm going to get lost today and I'm going to get injured. And I don't care because there's no charge. The other thing that is important is that if we were to do a charge, we should have legislation that gives us that authority. BC Parks has that for disobeying a park sign. Now, Jerry and I happen to be on a search in the Monarch Glacier. The helicopter bill for the first 10 days was $96,000. Now, if I turn around and say to you, ma'am, I didn't find your son or daughter, but by the way, here's a bill for $96,000. Step up. Well, we don't have that. You don't have that capability. You can go and mortgage your home. So that would put you on the social safety net. Now, there's also the theory, and Jerry and I differ in opinion on this one, that if there was a charge, people would say, it's my daughter missing. I'll try and find her myself. That $500 that I'm going to have to spend, I'll wait a day or two. Maybe she'll come home. No, I don't think, and I haven't found a case that would ever happen. But the theory is still there.